Hey everyone, Montreal Canadiens played the Ottawa Senators tonight at home in Montreal, and it was a really good game. Caden Primo was in net, so I'm going to tell you what happened, who scored, how they scored, some stats from the game, and my 3 stars of the game, and that's all right here at Talking Habs, the home of Habs hockey, where everything's dedicated to the Habs and all things hockey. No, I don't have a Twitch. Uh, Subscribe, ring the notifications bell, and that's going to get you your fix of your. I said it wrong. Your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge. That's how it's supposed to be said. Right here from Talking Habs, and while you're on your way down there to subscribe, because that's down there, give a thumbs up if you like the video, and any comments you may have about the game or about the video in the comment section right down there. So if you're familiar with my game reviews, you know I live stream every game the first period. So I don't pay attention. Well, I can't pay attention as closely as I would like to the first period. So in the first period, from what I could gather, because I'm recording this pretty short, like not too long after the game, Montreal was kind of being outplayed at points anyway in the first period, at least from what I could see and from what I heard from the announcers there. So I was kind of worried about this game because Ottawa can a lot of times play Montreal. Take advantage of all of Montreal's mistakes. You got Brady Tkachuk, who's like a Montreal killer. Pajot, who's a Montreal killer. Nilsson, who plays really well against Montreal. So all three of them were playing, of course. Anyway, so the game, it's kind of one of those back and forth type games. At 11:59, Golubev goes off for tripping. And a little over a minute and a half later, Cousins, Domi and Weber hook up. I'm not really sure exactly what happened on the play for a power play goal. It's Cousins' fourth from Domi and Weber, and it's 1-0 Montreal, and they keep that right through the first period, and it ends that way. Montreal had 11 shots, Ottawa 12 shots. Montreal power play goal. No other, from what I can tell, no other penalties. I didn't see any anyway. Second period comes around. And it's a bit of a chippy period. Second period was chippy. It was, I want to say, what did I write here? Penalty filled. That's a good way to put it. So Ottawa took a penalty not too long after. Montreal sort of offset it. They went to 4-on-4, another penalty, 4-on-3. And this was another penalty. And I lost track of how many penalties, who had a power play and what. But there were like 8 penalties. Let me see, I wrote it down here. There were 8 penalties. 4 against each team. So I'll read what I wrote. It was a penalty-filled second period. Nobody can really get on track. Nobody's offense can really get on track because of all these penalties. Primo is solid, making good stops. Primo looks really good in this game. He doesn't have that first period shakiness. It's a very chippy period. There are 2 big saves by Primo. One was on a power play, and the other one, I think, was just after the power play, and late in the period. So he's still looking solid, playing a really good game, facing a lot of shots, too. Galley was stopped on a breakaway with like a minute left. So, like I said, there were 8 penalties in it, 4 against each team. It's a very tight, hotly contested game. In my live stream, I said that. I had predicted, by the way, the score was 3-2. I predicted 3-2. I can't remember, but I didn't have the first goal scorer because that was Cousins. But I got the game score right, and I said it's going to be a very tight game. Montreal's games, probably most of them, are going to be very tight going forward, playing this kind of system. It happens to be a very similar system to what Ottawa's playing, where they basically, they're in your face the whole game, they stay with you, keep it close, pounce on mistakes, hang in there, so they're hanging there long enough to win. And that's kind of what happened. Ottawa almost did it to Montreal, but Montreal managed to do it to Ottawa. There were 9 shots for Montreal, 14 for Ottawa. Can't tell you the power plays because there were, I don't know how many official. I'll give you the total at the end anyway. Third period rolls around, and it kind of starts off with a bang because Montreal's leading 1-0, so it's 1-0 through... it's tied for the first 10 minutes, basically, and then it's 1-0 the rest of the way, right up until 29 seconds in. Tatar gets the puck very high in the slot, almost right at the point, at the blue line. And he fires the puck from there. Now, I just want to say this, and it was the announcer on the game was talking about it. There were a bunch of times in this game, and on both sides, where the guy who had the puck should have shot instead of making the pass, overpassing the puck, and not taking advantage of like an opportunity. Tatar did that a couple of times on one play. Should have taken a shot. He was really in tight, passed it, got it back, passed it again. So from here, he's far away. There's traffic in front, and he shoots. And lucky enough, it finds its way through. Doesn't even Gallagher's right there, and I don't know who the defender for Ottawa is, but it doesn't hit anybody. It doesn't seem, because Tatar gets the goal, and it's like he threads the needle with it from a place you wouldn't think he'd shoot, but at least he shot, and the Habs go ahead 2-0. So it's Tatar, his 11th from Dano and Galley. I didn't write the time. Gallagher goes off for tripping not too long after, because on that power play at 4:30. Now remember, Ottawa's got a 9.3% power play. They're not a good power play, but Kachuk, the Habs killer that I warned you about, Kachuk, he one times a rebound. It's not a far, like he's in the slot on the left side, and a puck comes in. Primo stops it with his pad, and the rebound happens to come right out to Kachuk on that side, and there's basically a half the net's open wide for him. Primo dives over, but I mean he's got no shot on it. Kachuk is literally maybe 10 feet from the net, and he just one times it in, and yeah. Kachuk, the Habs killer, so he gets his 11th goal from Ennis and Shabbat. So it's 2-1 for Montreal. You start to get that sinking feeling that something's going to happen here. Didn't write the time. Tatar takes it didn't really matter, but he took a high sticking penalty. I wrote an F-bomb there. At 13:05, Connor Brown scores on a rebound, another rebound that comes right to him. And it gave him another half-open net, and there's nothing can do. Maybe that's the half-open net. Maybe Kachuk didn't have a half-open net, but he got the goal with a quick one-timer. Might have gone through the 5-hole, I'm not sure. But Brown gets that rebound. I forget how the rebound came off of Primo, and it goes right to his stick, and he's got an open net, and it's in. So it's Brown, his 4th from guess who? Guess who got the assist on that? It's Kachuk. And they tie it up, so it's 2-2. Goes to overtime because it stays like that, and it goes to overtime. Montreal is 1-6 in overtime, and Ottawa is 2-0 in overtime. And not looking good. Looks like my 3-2 score is going to go the other way. But at 1:08, not too long in, Domi steals a puck, or I think he steals it. No, he gets an intercepts it or steals it. I don't remember off who. And he in the neutral zone, and he breaks up. He breaks up across the line, and Sherratt is really in deep actually on the left side, and beautiful pass from Domi over to Sherratt, and Sherratt just buries it. He buries that one for his 4th goal. He had 4 goals last year, so not even halfway through the season, he's got 4 goals, and it's from Domi. And Montreal wins 3-2, and I called the score. Yay! I got the score right. 3-2 Montreal. Doesn't happen very often, believe me. 29 shots for Montreal, 37 for Ottawa. Montreal was good in the face-off circle tonight, 55%. And power plays, Montreal went 1 for 4 on the power play, and Ottawa went 1 for 5. So the goal against on the power play was Montreal's 2nd goal in 22 attempts. In their last 22 penalty kills, they've given up only 2 goals. That's pretty good. So the PK is kind of back and doing well now. Montreal's now 15-11-6 and 3rd in the Atlantic, and that won't change in the morning because I looked at the scoreboard. There were only 3 games with Montreal's game, and nobody to affect the standings. So Montreal legitimately moves into 3rd place and actually tied in points and record. And I don't know why it puts them in 3rd exactly, but you could say they're tied for second with the 15-11-6 with Buffalo. So that's good. They keep another couple of wins, and they're solidly in a playoff spot. Right now, they're in a playoff spot. Next game is Saturday. Detroit's in town at 7:00. I'll be on the air at 6:30. And we'll go right through the first period. So that's Saturday night hockey talk. We'll be on the air at 6:30, and we'll go right through the first period of the game. So that's about it. Give a thumbs up if you like the video. And also, while you're on the way down there, you can subscribe and ring the notifications bell if you haven't already. And that'll get you your daily... I'm going to get it right this time. It's going to get you your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge from Talking Habs. And that's it. I'm probably going to take a day off tomorrow. Doesn't matter. Who knows when you're going to watch this video. So anyways, enjoy. See you on Saturday for the game. And go Habs, go. Bye, y'all.